Welcome to the Boardroom. A podcast from Miami for Miami. Sponsored by Physical Therapy Now. If it's happening in the health and legal business, we're talking about it. Andy Zapata holds a bachelor's degree from Florida International University and has had a distinguished 18-year career in the healthcare business. He's an expert in startup businesses, helping grow small and medium-sized medical centers in healthcare industries. He knows what he's talking about. This is the Boardroom. And here's your host, Andy Zapata.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the podcast today. And today we have a special guest, somebody very dear and near to my heart, Mrs. Elisa Martin, the entrepreneur of the year in our organization. So Elisa, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you. I love you too.
So Elisa, thank you so much for joining the podcast. I'm honored to have you here on today's episode, which is one of the newer episodes, but I really wanted to highlight like women entrepreneur, right? And I know that it's kind of easy to say, but it's not so easy to do, right? So I wanted to get like kind of your perspective on how it feels to be an amazing entrepreneur as a woman.
Well, it's great. I love, setting our own hours and being my own boss and all of that. And honestly, it's a lot harder than what it looks, because before when I wasn't an entrepreneur, I was obviously working for other people, and I never knew the behind the scenes. I always thought, that person is just sitting behind a desk, he's just sitting there, but it's so much harder.
So wait, before we go in here, Elisa, I have to ask you about a fun fact, because first of all, let's take a step back, because I want to highlight you as an entrepreneur. I want young women, young entrepreneurs that are just starting to listen to these stories and say, wow, if she did it, I can do it. And one of the things I heard from one of my dear friends, his name is Tony, the other day, he taught me like, listen, your story is not yours to keep. Your story is yours to tell. And that resonated really deep in my heart, because it's like, yeah, why am I keeping all these stories to myself, right? You don't know how many people might benefit from just listening to you today and saying, wow, Elisa, she did it, a PTA did it, and now she's here. Like, I can do that, right? And you might be an inspiration, believe it or not, to a lot of young women or a lot of young entrepreneurs. But before that, let's take a step back, right? Who are you? Let's just say, who are you, right? What have you done for the last couple of years? And a fun fact about you.
Well, I've been a PTA for almost 20 years. And
what's a PTA, by the way? What's a PTA?
A physical therapist assistant for 20 years. And that's where I met my husband, who's also a PTA. So we've done this whole ride together, this whole business, family, schooling, all of that together. So it's really fun working with him, and it's really nice working with him and having this. But we have 2 kids, and we just love traveling and spending time together, and that's a little bit about me. And
traveling, we're gonna touch on that subject a little bit, because I've seen a lot of travel in the last 2 years from you, but we're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. How about a fun fact?
A fun fact about me is I graduated high school at 15 and a half.
Wow. Is that because you're a super genius?
Super genius. It's I actually was homeschooled for high school, and it was a program that I could finish high school like as fast as you could, and it was very flexible and stuff. So once I figured out that at first I didn't want to do it, but once I figured out that I could go like as fast as I could, and I could start college and kind of get a head start on my life and on my future. I just hit the books, and I got my diploma by the time I was 15 and a half, and I started college at 16. So.
Wow, that is an amazing story. I didn't know that about you. I started at 19. I mean, I graduated at 19. And I started at 20. So, wow, you have 4 years ahead of me in schooling. That is an amazing story. Congratulations for that. I guess entrepreneur spirit at the age of 16, like, or even before that.
Parents, but later on, I kind of, I was like, hey, this isn't bad. This isn't a bad deal. So.
Wow. Congratulations for you. And that's an inspiration just to hear that. I didn't know that you can even do that. So, wow, that's a great story. So, Elisa, let's dig into it with your permission. Like, how has the pandemic been treating you, first of all? I know you're a business owner. We're going to talk a lot about that, but how's the pandemic treating you?
The pandemic, when it first started, we didn't close down all the way because we had quite a few patients that had a lot of surgeries and stuff. And if, we closed down, they would have frozen, like if you leave an extremity like that without the proper care, it won't move properly afterwards. So we were not able to close completely. So we did minimize the days, but we kept it open, and we were open 3 times a week. And just like that for about 2 months. And then after those 2 months, after everything started kind of opening back up, after like the 2 or 3 months, we just saw a huge rise in patients and surgeries, and we just got very, very busy until now. We're ending the year, and we're very busy. So
when you say rise, right? So I hear you say that the pandemic kind of had like you stumbled a little bit at the beginning. Was that March, April? Would you say that's March, April?
Yeah, April, May.
And so after May, things started really picking up for you, right? Would you say that you were pre-COVID numbers after that, or would you say you were like higher than pre-COVID numbers now, or before? Like,
I would say like in July, August, we were already in pre-COVID numbers. And then about now, we're above pre-COVID numbers.
Wow. So what I'm hearing you say is, even though you stumbled, your organization and the career and company and industry that you're in has increased during the pandemic. So, a lot of people say they're an essential business. There's a lot of essential businesses, but truly you are in an essential business that never closed and actually rose during the pandemic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. I have a theory that, because we're seeing just too many patients come in with pain, and I think it could be the inactivity. There's more inactivity now, because people were home more. We're seeing a lot of cases, for the neck and the thoracic areas. So maybe the posture too. People are just sitting more because they're at home. Maybe they're schooling their kids more. I know I am, so I have to make it a point to like stand up, to, take them exercising, take a break. So I notice myself sitting, a little bit more. So other people that don't, know that, hey, the importance of getting up and moving around, they're going to suffer from. So we're seeing a lot of that, like cervical, thoracic. So that's my theory that, some of the problems with the pandemic, like we're seeing it, like it's coming out in people, like they're having more pain, they're having more discomfort. So
right.
That in turn is giving us more business.
So do you think it could be like people on their phone more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like the posture of going like this instead of like having your neck straight, or reading too much, or being on the computer too much at home. I think, that could be what's called the text neck. I heard there's a term for that.
We're seeing a lot of that.
Wow. So that's amazing. Your company is rising in the middle of a pandemic. That's amazing. So let's take a step back because I really want to understand how you got here, right? So you said you were a PTA, physical therapy assistant, for about 20 years. Walk me through that process. What made you want to become a physical therapy assistant, and what happened after that for the next 20 years?
I decided to go into the therapy field because I wanted to help people, and I wanted to make good money, and I wanted to have a flexible schedule. Those three things. Because I knew that I knew I wanted to have children, so I wanted to have a flexible schedule. So that was very important. Even though I didn't have kids at that time, I was planning ahead. And I just wanted to get into a field I didn't want to just delve into something and for the return not to be good. So it was just those three things: helping people, making money, and it being a flexible schedule.
So what I'm hearing you say is entrepreneur, family, right? And so walk me through. You said time with the family, you said money, and you said physical therapist, helping people. So you have an amazing heart. I'm hearing you say family, right? You're all about family, and you're all about helping people, and entrepreneurship is making money. So love, making money, and family. That's amazing.
Good combination.
That's the perfect combination for a successful entrepreneur, in my opinion.
Yes.
So, okay, so let's take a step. So you became a physical therapy assistant. You worked for 20 years, and you've always wanted to open up a business, right?
No. I always, it's funny because I would always say, no, I never want a business. I don't want to do that. I never want that responsibility. I don't want to be a business owner. But, Wayne, my husband, and myself would always be in the car or something. And I would look at a certain shopping center and I would say, that's the perfect place to put this. Or they're going to make a lot of money because they just picked the perfect spot. And I would always be like, my head was always there, like, man, those people, this is the perfect spot to put this, or this is the perfect spot to put that. But no, I don't want my own business. No, I don't want anything.
Or is that because you were in fear of opening up a business and maybe failing? Or because if you have a vision, if you're walking around different shopping centers and saying that would be perfect for a physical therapy center, that would be perfect for a physical therapy center, or maybe that would be perfect for an hair salon, right? What I'm hearing you say is you had the vision, but for some reason you didn't want to become an entrepreneur. I want to understand, what was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. I just avoided it. I felt like it was a lot of responsibility, which it is. I just felt like it was just something I couldn't do. I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much, but it was always there. And so then
there was too much unknown. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Like I knew the therapy part of it, but I just didn't know like what's going on in the background, So I just didn't even think about it.
Got it.
So, and then one day, like 5 years ago, all of a sudden, like I really liked this salad place. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but I really liked this salad place. And I was like so in love with this salad place. And I was like, I have to open this salad place. Like it's so good. I know people are going to love it. Everybody's trying to eat healthy. We can't go wrong with opening this salad place. So I actually called the place and they gave me the numbers and, and all of that stuff, the franchise numbers and all of that stuff. And, Wayne, we have a cousin that he's into the restaurant business and we were like, maybe not, this, that. And then right around then I met you and I told Wayne, this guy, Andy, he's franchising and all this stuff. And Wayne was like, instead of the salad place, like I would rather do this. I would rather do that, the physical therapy now. I was like, okay, that's it. It's done. It's decided. And that's how we decided to like kind of go. Then we got some more information and stuff. But I went from being a PTA to wanting to open up something besides therapy. I just thought it was a little complicated because of insurances but honestly, now it's not anything that I can't handle, but that's what was in my head. Like, I just thought it was going to be too complicated with insurances and Medicare and this and that. So that's why I was like, let's do something, I don't know, with food. And I'm so glad I didn't do it. But
you would have been tossing salad right now instead of treating patients.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You were one of our first franchises, and I think you were like number 3 in the organization. And so now, young female entrepreneur, successful. Walk me through like what's happened since you opened up your franchise. Walk me through like some of the success stories that you've had as you opened and started going from, because I know there was some pain points at the beginning where you were like, oh my God, Andy, this is so much work. And then we had a conversation with you, and then instantly you were like, I got it. Thank you for opening that door to me. And it was about working on your business and not necessarily in your business. And that's the moment, I think, kind of where I saw you taking 8 vacations a year. I think you said one time. So who takes 8 vacations? A successful entrepreneur does. So walk me through that, because there was some pain, and then all of a sudden there was like this flower that just blossomed, right?
Yes. So yeah, in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do, from setting up your place to working it. You know, you have to build to get to a certain point. And I think that took like about a year. That year I took 0, nothing, no vacation, nothing, not even a couple's getaway, nothing. But it was fine. We were happy to do it. We knew what we got into. We're realists, you know, it was fine. Then I remember that I called one of your staff members, almost crying. And I was like,
I was in the car and I was telling her, tell her this, tell her that. I remember.
So the word she gave me was delegate. To like delegate responsibilities. And I was like, wow, I think that's it. But I remember that feeling of almost crying, and I probably did cry when before that's what kind of got me to call her. But yeah, it was, because you try to do everything, because I'm a therapist. So because I'm a therapist, I tried to do almost everything, like, you know, treat patients, do the administrative stuff, you know, keep an eye on the front desk, marketing. It was just too much. Plus having a young family, it was a lot. It was a lot on my plate. And then I called her. I was like, I want to sell it. And I'm so glad that she told me that. She's like, Elisa, it just sounds like you're doing too much. You need to delegate.
That's right.
And I did. And I tell you, and I just gave the PTA that I hired another PTA. And I tell you, when I would see that PTA walk into the room, it's like, I felt just, the stress would just like leave my shoulders. And, you know, that.
Well, you went from, that is an amazing story. And, you know, you at Physical Therapy Now, one of the things that we teach is like, yes, you got to put in the work at the beginning, but eventually we want you to be a business owner. And so in my opinion, you went from a business operator, right, where you're working on your business 24/7, to a business owner where you decide your time, your schedule, how many vacations you take, and who works for you. And so that's what an entrepreneur really is, in my opinion, because you have the money, you have more time to spend with your family, and more magic. And the magic is whatever you wanted. You decided to take 8 vacations one year. That's amazing. And that is an inspiration to a lot of us, or to a lot of people that will just say, wow, I'm a PTA. How can I take 8 vacations a year? So that is a beautiful, beautiful story. And thank you for sharing that. So, you know, we teach this and we mentor physical therapy assistants and physical therapists and OTs and PTs on how to really build your business, not how to continue to do physical therapy, because you didn't buy yourself a job, right? We didn't want you to buy yourself a job. We didn't want you to open this franchise so that you can have a job. We did it so that you could be an owner and do whatever you want, right? And have that magical moment with your families. So that is an amazing story. So walk me through. So walk me through, like, what's gonna happen from here with Elisa? Like, what are your goals going forward?
Well, I'm pretty happy where I am now. I was just thinking about, the other day, I was like, 20 years from now, I'm actually going to look back at this time, that I'm working with my husband in the clinic, and I'm just going to think how much fun we had, because every day it's a party, every single day here. And I don't know if it's like us, I don't know if it's just the team that we have, or if it's the physical therapy world, because, with physical therapy, it's just fun. To me, it's just fun. You have some people come in and they're down, they're just out, they're doing so bad. They come in a wheelchair, they're not doing good. And 2 weeks later, a month later, they're walking, just the little baby steps, and they're 2 months later, 3 months later, they're running out of here.
Right.
It's just an amazing feeling. And that adds to the overall, atmosphere, the happy atmosphere of physical therapy. So that's what I was thinking about the other day. Like, I'm living through like a beautiful moment in our lives, where 20 years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, man, that was fun. Like, we had fun, having that clinic. If I don't have it anymore for whatever reason, but it's fun. So I'm happy where I am. I'm very happy where I am.
You're just having fun. I hear you having fun. So, it's important that, a lot of people don't feel fulfilled in their lives, right? They don't feel like they've made it. And because they don't have that house, they don't have that car, they don't have that business. But what you said is like, I'm so happy because of the moments that I'm living every day in my business. And that's what happiness is. Happiness is not when you get that car. Happiness is not when you get that house or that business. It's like living in the moment. And those little small moments, it's what makes you fulfilled in life and rewarded, because you're giving back to the community, healing hundreds of people every year. And so that is an amazing story that you say that. And let me just step in and say that, yes, physical therapy is fun, right? Because it's kind of like a gym with exercises and a purpose. But your office and the culture that you have built in your organization, in your Physical Therapy Now franchise in Pembroke Pines, is unique. It's not common that all the physical therapy centers are that fun. Some of them are boring. Some of them are down. And the way that you have created that fun atmosphere that lets people be creative and fun and interactive. I've been there, and it is very fun. It is like a party every day in your office. And that energy that we call energy transference, which is where you transfer a fun energy to somebody and then they become enlightened and then they start having fun. So you guys have an amazing talent, you, your husband, your staff, at transferring fun energy to the patients, and where they start having fun and they refer other patients, other friends, their families. They tell their doctors how much fun they had and how good they're feeling. Well, that's a perfect recipe to having a successful practice, right? There's a lot of other little things that we have to do, but that's a perfect recipe because it's like a party every day. Who doesn't want to go to a party and have fun and heal themselves?
It's like Cheers, like that show Cheers. That's what I think of this place. Like, everybody knows everybody, everybody's having fun. So yeah,
well,
and they're better and they're getting better. So
cheers to the cheers of physical therapy. That is amazing. And so, Elisa, if you can share with us like one of the most memorable moments of your physical therapy career there in the office with one of the patients, like where they were, where they went. What can you share something like that with us?
Oh boy!
Like one of the one that's the most in your heart, that you feel the most rewarded.
Well, we have one. There's just been so many. There's so many. It's hundreds. It's hundreds. But one just left here right now. She's an awesome little lady. She got hit by a car, and the first day of her evaluation, she was just in tears, crying. You know, she was so scared for people to touch her. And now, you know, last 2 weeks ago, she let go of the wheelchair, and now she's walking. So she's just, she calls us her second family. You know, she's just it's just stories like that, really, they really, it makes it a beautiful career. It makes it a beautiful career. So, yeah, there's so many like that.
Well, I hear an amazing heart. I hear an amazing fun heart. I hear like you're all about love and heart and family. And, congratulations to you for having all those values inside your organization and inside you and your husband and family, because I know them very well. Elisa, if you can give some advice to like some of the young entrepreneurs or somebody thinking like, should I start a business? Should I do it? Should I not? I don't know everything. What would you recommend to somebody maybe wanting to start a physical therapy now franchise and says, well, you know what, it might be too much work. It might not. Like, what would you recommend? Because there's a lot of doubts and concerns.
If it feels right, go for it. Sometimes your talents are there, you just maybe don't believe in yourself, like how other people believe in you. If it feels right, go for it. I know that when we first started, I knew it was right because we didn't really have too many obstacles. Everything just fell into place. Everything was perfect. It was almost like, gosh, is this meant to be? It's everything and super, super smooth. So if it feels right, go for it and believe in yourself, because, if you want to get into the physical therapy business, it means that you are a caring person usually. So, and that's something that's beautiful. Opening up a physical therapy clinic, it's something that's never going to be bad. People are always going to have some kind of pain, some kind of accident, and you can potentially help them with that. So believe in yourself, and if it feels right, go for it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And how about if somebody's already an entrepreneur, right, and is having trouble, what would be like one or two of the things that you would say, like, you got to do this so that you can take it to the next level?
In a physical therapy now?
In a regular business?
In anything? Like what would take it to the next level? Talk to Andy. Andy can help you take it to the next level. Whatever it is that you're doing, talk to Andy.
That is probably the best advice you're going to give somebody, because yes, I've been helping many entrepreneurs in different industries succeed. A couple months ago, I'll share a fun fact. We onboarded a few companies. One of them is a catering company. One of them is a web development company. And the other one is a social media company that I'm helping take to the next level. So we are helping and coaching many students, scale and accelerate their business. And business is business, right? And that's what we talk about every day, whether you're doing physical therapy or you're doing, something else, social media, or whether you're doing catering, right? It's business is business. You need sales meetings. You need income. You need to be able to have fun during this whole thing. And so that's what we mentor, and that's what we teach. And, I'm happy that you said that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate those words. And anything else you would like to say to the audience? Like, what's the final from you?
Oh boy. Just keep at it. If like I said, if it feels right, go for it. The world needs more caring people, more businesses open that are able to care for people. So whatever it is, whether it's physical therapy, if if your purpose is to help people and care for people, I think you can't go wrong. This world sometimes is a little cold, and I don't think you can go wrong in that with that mindset. So
that's a great final. And yes, I'm gonna double down on that and say, if you do things with love, whatever it may be, if you do things from your heart, and any business that you're doing, if you really want to serve, your business is going to be successful because you're not thinking so much about what's in it for me, rather than how can I serve these people? And then the reciprocation comes in. And so, yes, I'm going to double down on that. And by the way, let's just throw one more fun fact in here, because I can't go, this cannot go unnoticed. What does your name tag say? Can you just tell the public what your name tag says?
I'll show you.
Zoom it into the camera. This is how much fun you have in Physical Therapy Now. So it says, Physical Therapy Now, Elisa Martin, CEO of the Year, AKA Boss Lady. Put it to the camera one more time and then just say it, because.
Yeah, Boss Lady. See it? Do you see it?
I see it. Well, thank you, Elisa, for another episode of The Boardroom, and with me, the host, Andy Zapata. And Elisa, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.